Everybody come on in. Drake fans, take a seat. Lil Wayne fans, take a seat. This is a crazy free take. This is going to be a long one. This is amazing. It's already Christmas for me, but thank you guys for tuning in. Listen, this whole free take is going to be literally about GNX, Lil Wayne, and Drake, all in one. I'm just gonna break it all down, give my thoughts. Yeah, where do I even begin? Well, obviously, let's just begin with GNX. So, Kendrick Lamar drops a surprise album last Friday morning. Took the world by storm, right? His album cover with the Grand National, he had a little snippet, on his YouTube, about a minute long. The snippet is not on the album, which is a good sign if you're looking for another Kendrick album. But all in all, I've listened to this album like front to back probably 30 times. I love it. I think it's the album of the year. I think if you compare it to all the other albums that are nominated for album of the year, I think it beats them. Glorilla's album had a great single with Yeah Glow. Future and Metro's album, if it wasn't for Like That, it wouldn't be nominated. I think GNX is better than both those, hands down. Go through the track list. I can name the ones that I like, the ones I can do without. Wiped Out Murals, that's a dub. Squabble Up, dub. Luther, another dub. Man in the Garden, dub. Hey Now, I can see if people don't like it. I do. It's dope. Reincarnated, dub. TV Off, definitely a dub. Dodger Blue, dub. Peekaboo, another one. It's, hit or miss for other people, but I think it's a dub. Heart Part 6, I definitely enjoyed because it wasn't a diss. It's what the hearts are supposed to be. It's a message, to TDE, and, how he blamed Black Hippie to fail because of him. The beat was great. I think that's a dub for sure. GNX will be one that I definitely skip. I did not like this track at all. It's just not for me. Even me as a Kendrick fan, I can do without. And then Gloria was very, very good. Very slept on. Dub. So out of 12 tracks, I think, you could say seven of them can go, 6 or 7. That's an album of the year. I mean, for a 12-track album, it's hard for you to get 4 that are stamped, that are certified goes, and 6 to 7 on a 12-track album. I mean, some people say 8. Listen, man, this is what I wanted Kendrick to do after Mr. Morale. I think he addressed everybody that doubted him. The big beef with Kendrick was you don't drop enough. You're not consistent. Well, this year he's been on a tear. You don't make any club hits. Well, he's got a couple on there for you. You don't put any other West Coast artists on. Boom. This is a West Coast album. It literally has everything you want. If you're a Kendrick fan, you love Gloria because it tells a story. It, brings you down. You think he's talking about a girl, but he's talking about his pen. Amazing. Man in the Garden will probably be my favorite song on this album. It's got that one mic flip by Nas. It's just real introspective, real deep, dark beat, just rapping his ass off. Love that. Reincarnated, the Tupac flip. He's rapping like Tupac. I still have yet to decipher on who he's talking about with the 1947 in Michigan and the Chitlin circuit with the female. Like, I'm still trying to break that down. I'll do some more research on it. I'm very interested to see. But all in all, this is a very good first album. I say first album because I do believe that there's going to be a second one. If you go and watch the GNX YouTube snippet that's a minute long, I don't want to play conspiracy theory, but I kind of have to with him. He pulls up in a Grand National. There's another Grand National parked that's like angled to leave where he drove in. So I think that there is going to be a second album. I think it is going to be more like a Kendrick album, simply because if you look at GNX now, it's kind of layered like a mixtape. It's kind of scattered everywhere. There's no real, purpose in each song being placed. You could shuffle this and it would be great. With Kendrick albums in the past, To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, Good Kid, Mad City, a lot of interludes, outerludes, a lot of extra fillers. Each song was placed, for a reason. I think that the next album will probably be that, if there is one. I believe there will be one. I mean, there's a lot of talks from, West Side insiders, West Side affiliates that say that this isn't it. There will be more. And hopefully we get that maybe before the Super Bowl. So maybe like January, let this one sink in a little bit. But who knows with Kendrick? I mean, he'll drop it. Shoot, what's today? Tuesday night. He'll probably drop it this Friday again. Who knows with him? He runs on his own time. But as far as ranking this as, all his projects, I would have to go. So if we're basing it off of, we're going to count Section 80 as an album. We'll leave out Untitled Unmastered. We'll leave out the Black Panther album. So it would be, here's my order. Good Kid, Mad City will always be number one for me. I think it's one of the best hip-hop albums to ever be produced in hip-hop history. It's by far his best work. No skips at all. Second, I would have to go to Pimp a Butterfly. I know a lot of people, have that a little lower. It's one of those albums that you rank high for regard, but doesn't really have good replay value, if that makes sense. Like, it's a true definition of a masterclass album. Like, I love that album to death. So that would be my number 2. Number 3, I would have to go Damn. Another classic album. A lot more hits, more mainstream hits. And some of his biggest records, his most bought records, his most streamed records are on that album. So that's a heavy hitter as well. Number 4, I would have to go Section 80. I mean, Section 80 was very slept on. I mean, it's one of them albums where if you go back to it, you think like, wow, like this is amazing. Ronald Reagan era, Tammy song, love it. Like, I hold Section 80 to, a pretty high standard, but right under it, just by a little bit, would be GNX. I think it just sounds more freshly produced. Like, this album sounded expensive. SZA murdered both her songs. The sampling in this was insane. Sampling Luther Vandross, SWV, Nas, Tupac. Crazy sampling on this. And the rapping is just amazing in itself. I mean, you can throw in, the beefs, the subtle shots, which we'll get into, here in a little bit. But all in all, beef aside, I think this is a really good album for Kendrick. And it's safe to say that for it to be his 5th best album, and it only has 12 songs, and I believe it's pretty recent. Like, he probably had maybe like a couple months of work in this album. So for all that, for the short amount of time that is produced, I mean, hats off to you. I mean, the 4 in front of this album are bona fide classics. They have a bunch of time and a lot more features, a lot more bigger features per se. But for GNX to beat Mr. Morale, in my opinion, I think it's a win for everybody, because the whole knock against him was Mr. Morale was a flop. Mr. Morale was trash. It was your worst album, and you're not going to rebound from it, type shit. But I think Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, it's an acquired taste. It depends on where you are in life, what you are feeling, how deep of therapy you need. It's definitely a therapy album. And I mean, at the time, I really didn't feel Mr. Morale. I listen to it now that I'm a dad, and I have a lot more appreciation for the album. I have a lot more appreciation for Kendrick and his storytelling and how he raps and the way he raps, the certain skits. I enjoy all that stuff. Like, I love an album that tells a story. And I think Mr. Morale will be one of those albums that you just need a little bit more time and then revisit it. And then I think it'll get better. But GNX, I think, is a better album than Mr. Morale. So that is where I have the album ranked. Now, let's get into it. Whacked Out Murals. Kendrick said a certain line that made somebody upset, unfortunately. And that person is Lil Wayne. Wayne. Kendrick said, used to bump the Carter 3. I held my Rolly chain proud. Irony. I think my hard work let Lil Wayne down. Now, my question to all the hip-hop fans, all the Wayne fans, all the Kendrick fans, would you consider that a diss? Now, I've been having some arguments with my friends that are Wayne fans, that are Kendrick fans, that are Drake fans, that are fans of music, and it's kind of 50-50. But me personally, I don't take it as a diss. I take it as, put yourself in Kendrick's position for a second. When that whole Super Bowl thing happened, right? Lil Wayne went on a weird PR, I don't want to say crybaby because I want to be respectful because it's Wayne, but like an emotional wreck tour. Let's just say that. To where you can sense some entitlement. I mean, he's been a superstar since he was a kid, but it gives off, this is not fair. I've been done wrong. Who else deserves it but me? And I deserve this position over anyone. So in Wayne's defense, I think he would have felt the same if it was anybody else. But the fact that it is Kendrick and the fact that he went toe-to-toe with Drake and you are obviously on his side. I mean, you didn't say anything during the whole beef. You wore the OVO chain and all that stuff. But I think Kendrick understood that beef. He understood it during his beef. So I don't think he had any ill will towards Wayne. And I still don't think he has any ill will towards Wayne. I think I take that diss as, yo, you could have just said congratulations to me and continued to say how this isn't fair. If I'm in Kendrick's shoes, the person you need to be mad at is Jay-Z. I didn't make this decision. I didn't pick myself for the Super Bowl. I went on a crazy run this year. I battled the biggest artist in the world that is going to have more number ones than Michael Jackson. My hard work let you down. How do you think that makes me feel? Because the way I took it was, I really thought Kendrick was going to bring Wayne up at the Super Bowl. Not now. What this showed me was they didn't talk. And that's worrisome to me because as Kendrick, Lil Wayne is your idol, right? And instead of chopping it up, hashing it out, having a heart-to-heart, saying, yo, it is what it is. I'm going to go kill the Super Bowl. I just want your support. If you don't want to show up, that's fine. But just support me. Just congratulate me. Be happy for me. The fact that Nas was the only one to congratulate him is insane. That speaks to where the music industry is now. You know what I mean? Argue what you want. I personally think Wayne deserves a Super Bowl one day, but not this year. Kendrick had a dominant year. And I don't want to go down, who deserves what in the Super Bowl, but the fact that Lil Wayne tweeted, man, what the fuck did I do? I just be chilling and they still come for my head. Let's not take kindness for weakness. Let this giant sleep. I beg you all. No one really wants destruction, not even me, but I shall destroy if disturbed. On me. Love. That's what Lil Wayne tweeted. And I have such a problem with this whole thing. This emotional Wayne crash out tour. Like, crying over the Super Bowl performance is one thing, right? We can all understand. It's your hometown. You feel like you got robbed. Cool. But to tweet, don't take kindness for weakness. Don't wake up the sleeping giant. Let the giant sleep. I don't want to destroy, but I will if I'm disturbed. 1, you never talk like that in your life. 2, do you know who you're talking to? I mean, did you not just see what happened? Did you not listen to the album? Kendrick is itching for somebody to jump. He has a trigger finger right now. And I'm not saying that because I picked Kendrick in the whole beef or I'm a super fan. Just look at the optics. Just be objective for a second. This is the dude that made Euphoria, Meet the Grams, and Not Like Us. The 3 biggest diss tracks towards Drake that demolished him. Is literally sending him in a frenzy right now as we speak. When was the last time you battled anyone? I mean, Pusha came at you and you didn't go at him. Right? Gilly, the kid, went at you and you didn't go at him. So, what makes you think you can talk tough to somebody who has proved to the world that he is not to be played with? Especially, this is the thing, especially in 2024. Wayne back in the day, Carter 3 Wayne, mixtape Wayne, whichever form of Lil Wayne you want, I can understand. But this is exactly like Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We are picturing Mike Tyson when he was knocking out everybody in his 20s. This is not the same. It's not. Now, I'll give Wayne some bail here. At least these battles aren't live. Like, he can go in the studio and cook up and go punchline for punchline for punchline if he wants. That is a benefit. And another thing I will give credit to Wayne for, hypothetically, let's just say it does happen. Wayne versus Kendrick. I believe Lil Wayne will take Kendrick Lamar way more serious than Drake took Kendrick Lamar. A lot more serious. Which makes the battle even better for consumers like us. People who just want to hear the music. People who want to dissect beats. People who want to talk about it on podcasts. It's great for both of us. And listen, everybody's lying saying they don't want to see it, because I definitely want to see it. I mean, just for personal reasons. I want to see it. Right? But is it smart, though? That's all I'm saying. Is it smart for somebody who was Drake's predecessor, Drake's sensei, Drake's teacher in all this, to now attempt to do what his student couldn't do? I don't know. I just think for the benefit of Lil Wayne, we already seen what Drake tried to do for Kendrick, but one thing that these rap beefs will teach us is that it can get very messy. And I don't know if Lil Wayne wants to have anything exposed, per se, because it's been around for a while. And there may be some things that come out about Wayne that we probably won't forget or won't be able to unhear. That's all I'm saying. If that battle were to ever happen, I think Kendrick washes him. I think he is just on a crazy run. Now, if you told me this pre-beef, pre-Drake, Kendrick, Cole, anything, I think it would have been a close battle. I think it would have been a toss-up. I just don't think Wayne's punchline after punchline after punchline is going to work against somebody who's a psychopath that has an insane pen and can manipulate and can make stories and can make punchlines and can make scenarios and put you into a movie, switch your mood. Like, this dude is psychotic. His pen is insane. Stay away from him. Everybody stay away from him. That's what I would recommend. But that's the Wayne story. Now, let me put on my disgusted shades. Aubrey Graham, please step up to the podium. It is time for you to never, ever say that you're the best rapper again. It's over. It's over. For those of you that don't know, Drake is suing. Well, let me take that back. He's forming a petition. I don't know. He's pursuing legal action. There we go. Drake is pursuing legal action against his own label, UMG, also Spotify, and I think iHeartRadio. So the gist of it is this. Let me try to break it down in layman's terms for everybody. It's going to be hard. Listen, this is all alleged. I'm not a lawyer at all. Drake is suing UMG because allegedly he believes that UMG used bots and payola for Not Like Us. That's just the first lawsuit, by the way. So what payola is, it's pay to play. So it's pretty much bribing to, market something, market your song, like pay a DJ to play this song, which is illegal, I guess. A few things here. Listen, I've heard, Roy Mal podcast try to flip it to where this is just bigger than rap. It's about business. It's not about Kendrick. And botting has been a problem, and it's been manipulating streams, and Drake might be a hero. This might be a good thing. Fuck all that. Listen, Drake, you benefit from these bots. You realize that, right? Your whole career with Universal, you've benefited from bots. Does anybody remember the Scorpion era? Where you could go to a country playlist, you can go to a mariachi playlist. You can go to a rock playlist. You can go to a pop playlist. You can go to an R&B playlist. You can go to a jazz playlist. Guess what's going to be included in those playlists? You guessed it, a Scorpion song by Drake. Do you guys really think God's Plan was streamed that much? No. That was bots. That was juice to promote their biggest star, to have this big promo rollout. They've been doing this, by the way. And Drake's not the only one. He's not the only one. Trust me. But this is where it gets scary for Drake right here. You're biting the hand that feeds you. A lot of money, by the way. Wouldn't you think it would be a terrible idea to sue your own record label? Now, a lot of the theory is, well, he's trying to get out of his contract. Okay, cool. So, why now, though? Not Like Us has been out for 6 months. Why pursue legal action now? A couple days after the album dropped. GNX is what I'm talking about. It just doesn't make any sense. And this is conspiracy brain here. If anybody's familiar with Deshaun Watson, okay? Deshaun Watson was a quarterback for the Houston Texans. He's quarterback for the Cleveland Browns now, but he's out for the season. I think he tore his Achilles. But when he was in Houston, his last year in Houston, what did he want to do? He wanted out. So guess what the Texans did? Since you want out, boom, massage, therapy, court cases. This quarterback's a freak. And it really ruined his career. I couldn't say it cost him a lot of money because the Cleveland Browns made him the highest paid quarterback ever at the time. But that stain was put because he wanted to leave Houston. You didn't think that they knew that? Was it just a coincidence that it just came out after he wanted out? After he said he wanted out of Houston? This could be the same thing. Do not bite the hand that feeds you. You don't think Lucien Grains knows a little something about Drake's behind the scenes work? You don't think he knows about these alleged Not Like Us allegations? The Meet the Grams allegations? That's the crazy part. Meet the Grams isn't getting, pursue legal action, but Not Like Us is. That's just the first suit, though. The second suit is for defamation against Drake. And he's pursuing legal action in that one against UMG. In both of these lawsuits, by the way, Kendrick Lamar is not being pursued legally. It's all because of the song and that UMG let it play. The second suit, they are pretty much arguing that Universal could have edited out PDF. You know what that means, because I'm not going to say it on YouTube. They're going crazy right now. But is this hip hop? Like, are we really going to pursue legal actions over diss tracks right now? I mean, Drake. Listen, now, does he have a case? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I just think morally and competitively, it's bitch-made behavior. You started this though. That's where this literally confuses the hell out of me. You make TaylorMade and you type for Tupac to say, tell him I like little girls. That's a gift for me. Tell him to say this. And then you're on push-ups. Drop, Kendrick. Egging him on and poking the bear, and he drops Euphoria, and he tells you, if you're taking it there, I'm taking it further, and that's something you don't want to do. And what did you do? You took it further. I don't feel sorry for you. There. That's it. You shouldn't have gotten to the ring and played dirty if you didn't want to get dirty. You can't just diss somebody because the stuff that you said was horrific, by the way. Saying that he beats his wife and that he was touched as a kid and that his son isn't his. Like, you think that you were clean in all this? Absolutely not. So, here's what I take from Drake pursuing legal action on. He dropped back-to-back lawsuits, by the way. Ironic is that. I think we need to have another conversation about this top three. I think J. Cole is second. I do. I think J. Cole is second. For somebody to literally apologize over a diss track and take it down, he doesn't look this bad. Call it what you want. I think J. Cole's situation was not as bad as this. Listen, I've never in my life heard of anybody pursue legal action over a diss track. This is going to lead a precedent. You know what's crazy? Kendrick does this to me all the time. I think this is what he meant by watch the party die. This is crazy. We may not never have any more battles again if this goes through and Drake wins this shit. Now, can he win it? I don't think so. I think Universal, we're talking about a record label. You don't think they had no terms and conditions in that contract when he signed? There's got to be a loophole in there somewhere. I know he ain't reading the fine print. Even his lawyers, I don't think they're reading the fine print. They don't look too good. They had a deal where you could ask Siri, hey Siri, play, make sure Siri don't play, hey Siri, play Certified Lover Boy, and then it would play Not Like Us. But if you ask Siri that on Spotify, it just bases off the lyrics, because you can say, hey Siri, play wop, 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 and it'll play Not Like Us, and then you do a Drake lyric and it'll play the Drake song. So that was actually in the lawsuit, and that got solved by normal people, not a high-paid lawyer. Listen, you can't do what Drake's doing right now. Like, listen, it sucks because I used to be a Drake fan. I still am holding on hope. I fuck with his music. I fuck with his old catalog. I don't know who this dude is right now. This is not timestamp Drake. I don't know who this Drake is. But this is not hip hop. You can't take legal action over this, dog. Just, this is what Drake needs to do. Shut the fuck up. Take your L and go back in the booth. Ball up top. Check up. Literally, hip-hop is a sport. You need to treat it like a sport. If you want to go at this nigga again, go at him again. We don't want to see you pursue legal action and try to say that Not Like Us was manipulated and it was juiced, when in reality, It's a really good fucking diss track. Say what you want. Watch the Pop-Out show. You think those people were bought to be there? Not like us. I heard that song in parties and weddings, on the radio. Like, listen, man. Even if it was juiced, let's just say, it had 700 million streams. Let's say half of those streams were fake. Cool. You still lost, though. That's the thing. You still lost. The impact of that song is going to live on, whether you think it's juiced or not. You still lost. What is it going to change? Listen, I don't know. I'm very curious to see where this goes. I don't know if he'll drop another lawsuit. He needs to drop some fucking music. He said the Party album was 75% done. He's going on streams. He's calling Steve Lacy a fragile op. That's so funny, though. A fragile op. Listen, the boy's crazy, but the boy's creative sometimes, too. Fragile op is insane, though. That's some nasty work. But drop some music, man. Just be quiet for a month. Go to work. Drop some music. And leave that little motherfucker Kendrick alone. Because he is on one right now. Matter of fact, don't leave him alone. Start up again. Make my life a whole lot better. But I think that's it. I think I covered everything. If I miss anything, I'll come back with another one. If something pops up again, I'll come back with another one. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Comment down below. Drake fans, please try to explain this one. Please convince me that Drake is okay in this situation, because he does not look good. I want to hear from Drake fans, because they're the loudest. Trust me. I know. I've been hearing them every day. But that is it for this free take. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm out.